I've been practicing high-ticket dropshipping successfully for over 7 years. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 of the biggest things I wish I knew before I started dropshipping. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and notify buttons so that you'll be the first to know when we release weekly dropshipping goodness. I started high-ticket dropshipping in 2014 with my first site, sheetchandeliers.com.au, which I sold in 2017. I've since been involved with a whole bunch of successful dropshipping businesses, and I've taught hundreds of people how to start and grow their own dropshipping businesses. At this point, it's fair to say I've got a pretty good idea of what I'm doing, but it definitely wasn't always that way. So I'm sharing 3 things that I wish I knew when I started high-ticket dropshipping, and I'm doing this in the hope that you are nearer to the start of your dropshipping journey, and perhaps I can help you avoid mistakes or even just speed up your progress based on what I've learned. So the first thing is how to do niche or market selection properly. Now, this is one of the first things you do when you start out on your high-ticket dropshipping journey, is finding the products that you're going to sell, finding the niche that you're going to serve. And it's definitely one of the pivotal decisions you will make. In the beginning, I was very focused on defining my niches based on the products that I wanted to sell. For example, my first niche was lighting products for homes. So I sold lights. Now this approach, a product first approach, can work on a decent percentage of times that it's used, but it can also commonly lead to the wrong niches to start a business in. These days, I tend to think of the ideal customer first for my business, and then they and their interests are my niche. And based on that, I identify the products that I will sell on my website. So for example, rather than saying my niche is going to be golf clubs, I would say that my niche is golfers, and I'm going to sell all of the products, focusing on high ticket products, that a golfer would be interested in to pursue their passion, i.e. golf. Now this sounds like a subtle difference, but it has a massive effect in the medium term to how successful your marketing is, how resistant to competition your business is, and ultimately, how profitable your business is. The second thing I wish I knew is the importance of search engine optimization, or otherwise known as SEO. Now, organic traffic generated from search engines using SEO practices is the #1 traffic source for high-ticket dropshipping sites. Organic traffic is more plentiful, i.e. there's much more of it, more profitable, and more resistant to competition for a high-ticket dropshipping business than paid traffic. In the beginning, I had no idea what SEO was. I only knew to run paid ads, which is fine in the beginning, but if I'd known to start working on SEO earlier and I'd known how to do it properly, my progress would have been about 2 to 3 years faster in my estimation, i.e. I would have made the same amount of money that much quicker. If you have a high-ticket dropshipping business and you are not actively working to a solid SEO strategy, you are leaving massive amounts of cash on the table. You need to get started today. The third thing I wish I knew was not to rush towards creating multiple high-ticket dropshipping sites at the same time. In the beginning, it's tempting to rush towards creating multiple dropshipping sites at the same time. Now, people make this mistake because it seems like a fairly straightforward and repeatable process to start with, which it is. But the mistake is that newbies don't realize how much ongoing work there is to grow a high-ticket dropshipping business into something big and wonderful. And there is a lot of work. So what happens is, if you start multiple sites, is that you overload yourself in the beginning. You split your focus, you repeat the same mistakes, and overall your results are much lower and slower than if you put all of your time and energy into just a single store. Now, I made this mistake in the beginning, in my first 18 months in business. I actually started 3 different high-ticket dropshipping businesses very close together, and it really didn't work for me. It was just too much to manage, and I ended up closing 2 of them after a short amount of time, and I ended up focusing on just a single store. And when I did that, my stress levels went down, my results went up significantly with that focus. So if you practice consistency and patience along with the right growth strategy, a single store can provide all you need while keeping things significantly simpler for your first couple of years. But once you're really practiced in high ticket dropshipping, you can consider opening an extra store or two. So those are the 3 things I wish I knew before I got started. If you'd love to learn how to start your own dropshipping business with the benefit of my and my business partner Ben Knegendorf's combined 15 years of high ticket dropshipping experience, you need to join Dropship Breakthrough today. Jump onto dropshipbreakthrough.com/book-a-call and book a call with me today, and we'll have a casual chat about how we can help you get started. Thanks for watching.